Alrighty folks, it is 5:30 a.m. Thursday. It is now time to get all of this stuff in the car, and then we are off to Seattle to pick up Stefano, and then off to Vancouver for the night with the ferry across in the morning. 12 hours to Seattle, and then another 3 up to Vancouver. It's gonna be a long one. Let's go. All right, Stefano, it's 5 a.m. on Friday, 2 days before the race. How are you feeling?
A little tired right now.
Yeah. We got in a little late last night, hit some traffic in Seattle, but we made it to the hotel. Just getting gas, heading to the ferry, 6:30 departure. Should be good. All right, Stefano, we're on the ferry to BC. We've got coffee in us now.
This is pretty sick. Happy to be out here though. Like I don't really have an excuse to get out to BC Island at any point in my life, you know? So like to come out here to do a bike race is as good as an excuse as anything else. So
We're not to the island yet, but so far we're off to a really good start. This is a cool way to start the trip. So yeah, the plans today, Stefano and I, we're gonna get to the island. 8:20 is our arrival time, and then we're gonna ride the first like 30 miles today. Check out the first climb and some Singletrack. Then tomorrow we're gonna check out the final climb. So far, weather looks amazing today and tomorrow. Sunday, chance of rain, but I think it rains there a lot, so even if it rains, like it'll be a little slippery, but I don't think it'll be unrideable.
I think it'd be super grippy, just hero dirt. We're just gonna be wet and colder than I like to be, but
yes, which works for me. My Minnesota blood in me. I'm used to the cold. Stefano, not so much. Liking the cold. So yeah, not that I enjoy being really cold, but I do better in it than the heat. So I will take the cold any day.
Look at this. It looks paved, but it is not mellow. And there's the dirt. Hi there.
it's like really close.
Oh, I don't know if we can make it through this, dude. Oh, we're supposed to be on a road. Well, that's a view.
All right, so we finished up riding, did roughly the first 30 miles of the course, and there is a lot of steep, punchy mountain bike trail on it. Super fun. but there's still a chance of rain on Sunday, on race day. So I'm gonna head and opt to change to the mountain bike pedals, just because this course is pretty rough and gnarly, and there are a lot of sections that if it is slippery, I might have to put a foot down. And with the speed plays, if you put a foot down in the mud, those things clog up very easily and your day could be over. So I'm gonna swap those over real quick, go ride it, make sure it feels okay, and then I get one more day to ride it tomorrow ahead of race day, so I can make any final adjustments if I need to. Good morning, Stefano. Day 2.
Yep.
Canada. Another gorgeous day here in BC. It was a little cloudy just an hour ago, but the sun's came out and it's pretty. There's the man. All right, Mr. Marks, we are here in BC, up in Canada for
Columbia. It's like you want everyone to know how amazingly beautiful it is, and that this is like the best possible place to ride a bike on the planet. But we got to get everyone here to let them experience that.
Singletrack up there is like super smooth, like it's so much fun, but it's not like so gnarly that like it's like crazy on a gravel bike. It's just super fun on a gravel bike too. Yep.
Flowy. You could do some jumps if you want.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
And yeah. All right, so it is day 2 of pre-riding. We're out here on the highway, and there's this weird little U-turn, which is on 2 parts of the course. We were trying to figure out why, but we just found out. So right down there is the tunnel. We're gonna have Stefano test this out. Woo!
All right, so this is how you come out of the highway to the tunnel. I guess we do this twice.
All right, well, I just tested it out myself and it works. A little sketchy going down that little right-hander. Most of you folks probably walk, but it worked. Yeah, so when we come back, we're gonna come down there and then we're gonna go this way. Yep. And it's very BWR-esque. It's appropriate. All right, we are now, I think, close to the top. And as you can see, there are a ton of these water holes, most of which you can go around, but there is a couple sections where you will be going straight through them. But yeah, not really a big deal. Pretty cool. Alrighty, it is 7:38 p.m. night before the race. For tomorrow, I do not have Kendra here. Wish she was here, but couldn't make it happen at this one, so we are going to improvise a little bit. As in the past, I've always counted on her driving around and bringing me my super high carb bottles. So what I have going on is 2 little gel flasks, and they're gonna each have 100 grams of carbs in them. I make this up tonight, I let it sit in the fridge and it actually sets up a little bit better. And then I'll pour that in the flasks tomorrow. And then in these bottles, I have 10 scoops each, so these are oversized bottles. And then on top of that, I have the liquid goo energy gels, and I'm doing 8 of those. But before all that goes on, nutrition starts with breakfast. So I've got my Bob's Red Mills pancake mix, which I'm gonna make 2 waffles with tonight. So we have that with pure maple syrup, get all those extra carbs in the morning, so we're ready to go. And that'll happen at 4 a.m. because we don't race till 7. Alrighty, it's race day. Just after 4 a.m. Glamorous part about being a pro gravel cyclist is you get to wake up real early quite often. He's got some muffins, but I'm honoring the Belgian waffle ride with some Belgian waffles. Yeah, they're gonna be pretty tasty. Alrighty folks, jumping straight into the race, we already have an attack by Alexis Cartier, and I think this is a pretty good move on his part. I had actually debated doing this myself, but decided against it. And before I tell you why, let's jump into this year's course. Now, this year's edition is 120 miles with 11,000 feet of climbing, so that is a beast of a course. The significant climbs are going to be coming right here at mile 8, and then the next big one is going to be at mile 100. So I did get a chance to pre-ride the first one, and it is steep. It starts with pavement and then turns to dirt, and you are cranking to get over that thing. However, I figure it's going to take about 15 minutes to get up, and that is in the wheelhouse of what I am pretty good at. So I've decided before the race starts that I'm going to keep my cards close to my chest and stay in the group, save as much energy as possible, and then hang on for dear life as Rob Britton, native to the island, is going to be pushing it hard there to drive some separation in the group.
Alexis Cartier off the front, several minutes off the front. So here's our lead group of chasers.
Waiting for the eclipse and the consequences of it. Why do we keep falling down? When there's always be affected ground. We got time to make this right, but it's all we keep falling down. Why do we keep falling down?
Right here in the climb, I am starting to fade a bit. As you saw, I fell away from Rob Britton, and with Rob Britton is Michael Vandenham, who is a rider for the Giant Off-Road team. So those two are closing in on Alexis, who is just up the road from them a little bit, and I am sitting right here on Julian's wheel and even starting to fade off of him a little bit. So far, it's been 8.5 minutes on this climb, and we have averaged 455 watts. And looking here, you can see we're just roughly over halfway up. So I am feeling that I can't quite hold this pace for the rest of the way up, so I kind of settle into my own. But as we fast forward here, we hit a slight ease in the gradient, and I'm able to catch my breath. And as the road tips up steep towards the top, I am able to close in and pass Julian. So over the top, it's Rob and Michael leading the way with Alexis, who had gotten a head start on the climb, in front of me. In total, this took 14:44 at an average power of 434. So definitely a decent effort to get things going. And now we are in for the fun part of trying to descend this single track with our eyes still kind of cross-eyed from that effort. So let's get it.
Pack my things up, make some pit stop. Came back from being down 1-3. Pack my things up, make some pit stop. Came back from being down 1-3.
Alexis has a counterpart there. There goes Rob Britton, now in third. He's only 40 seconds down. Here we go. Fourth and fifth. Right, Joe.
So as you just saw, coming out of the first section of Singletrack here, Julien and I are sitting in 4th and 5th place. Now, I had thought that Rob, Michael, and Alexi were all in one group together. So I'm sitting here thinking that it is going to be a 2 versus 3 chase, which is going to make our job very difficult to get to the front. So I'm sort of debating if we try and wait up for a couple more people to help us chase them down. But it's really not long here until we hit the next section of mountain bike trail. So we decide to keep pushing on.
You want to lead in there? Do you want to lead in the single?
I let Julien come around me as he has been here for around a week and has pre-ridden the whole entire course. When Stefano and I were pre-riding this next section of Singletrack, we definitely got lost a couple times, so I figure hopefully he has a little bit better knowledge, and he's also on mountain bike tires, so it's a little bit risky letting him go first because it's going to be harder to keep up. However, I do feel that, especially when I don't know the trail, I end up being able to go faster when I'm following someone's wheel. So that was also another factor in letting Julien come around. Bringing up tire selection a little bit here, I am running the Pirelli Gravel H's in a 45, which is pretty darn slick in the middle, but does have some side knobs. I'm typically pretty decent with this tire on Singletrack and gnarlier off-road, and it's been very puncture resistant for me, so that's why I've chosen this one. And this race does have a ton of smooth gravel and pavement in it. However, Julien here is running a 2.25 up front and a 2.1. I believe he's running the Thunderbirds. This is for sure making it a bit hard for me to keep up, and I am having to put a little extra effort each time we hit a climb to close back a little bit of the gap that he's put on me on the downhills. But I am able to stay with him through this whole section of Singletrack, and we come out onto the road together. Now, that was pretty much the beefiest section of Singletrack in this course. That was pretty rocky and rugged. This next section, we do hit more of a forest trail, but it is super rocky on this downhill here as well. I just want to point out how crazy cool the scenery is here with these big giant green plants, whatever they are. Kind of reminds me of like a Jurassic Park landscape. Yeah, incredible views in this race. If you get a chance to do this race next year, definitely come down early and get yourself a chance to pre-ride, because you will get to enjoy the scenery a little bit more versus when you are suffering in pain on race day. So here we are coming out of this second off-road section onto the road, the two of us together, and now Rob has caught back up to Michael and Alexi, so it is a 2 versus 3 chase, and we are kind of discussing together whether we want to really push hard to try and catch them or just keep it steady. Julien informs me that Alexi is probably not going to work super hard with them. Julien and Alexi are really good friends, so Alexi wants Julien to catch back up, so being aware of this, we start to push a bit harder, and just a little bit further up here, we actually see them off in the distance.
Is that them? There's one.
So here we are, a little over 33 miles into the race and just under 2 hours, and we are finally closing in on the 3 leaders. I counted about 25 seconds to them. I kind of thought with them seeing us, they might kind of sit up a little bit and just wait for us. However, this is definitely not going to be the case as we start to charge even harder once we see that we're this close. I am absolutely just drilling it in the aero position with my arms just kind of hanging over the bars, pushing out as much power as I can, really trying to close this gap, but they are not making it easy on us.
Our leader is here with some company. This is our top 3. They've got a good gap. And then right behind, really close behind, 4th and 5th place.
We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. Watch me go and bounce right back. Down for the count, but the hound strike back. It get like that. I don't wanna hear it, but you hit me right back. They talking, they told me take the L and move on. Heard it from somebody who's been taking L's their whole life. I don't know what you want. Passive when they play you. Expect the best from people like there's nothing they can do wrong.
It is mile 39. We are coming up on a corkscrew hill here, and I am deciding I am over it and it is time to close the gap. So I really get out of the saddle and push hard here and make one final effort for us to get up to the leaders. It takes a minute and a half at 500 watts to close the gap in this final little effort. And in total, since we saw them first in our chase, it's been 30 minutes and we've normalized 380 watts with an average power of 347. So this was a big effort of a chase. Nonetheless, I am actually still feeling really good right here and wanting to keep things moving. So after we settle in for a little bit, I immediately start helping to drive the pace forward in this group so that we can maintain our gap over the field. Now, this is probably a small tactical error on my part as there really aren't many threats behind us. It's kind of all splintered into small groups. I shouldn't really need to worry about anything behind and should be more focused on where we're at. But I haven't gotten a top 5 in a BWR this year yet. And being in this group of 5, if we can work together well, we can pretty much guarantee that all of us will be on the wide angle podium. So that is what I'm looking for.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Yeah.
But I still definitely want to get a top 3, which I've never achieved in a BWR before. So I'm trying not to go all in here and kind of manage my effort and not do any more than anyone else.
And recover to be able to smother you enough for those I'm going ghost and I'm up to something. Or maybe I'm up to my wits ends with all of your stiff trends. I'm sick of the system. I'm not into religion, I need something higher and bigger to fix this. Brothers, sisters betray me that I never wrong. Over here it's all solid, this isn't a prism. This isn't a prison. This is free. This is fiction. Listen, ay, I made a bunch of merch, and as soon as I recouped on my expenses, I gave away every other shirt. Good heart, I guess that's why I never finished first. But it's time I put the business first. Cause we ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. Watch me go and bounce right back. Cause we ain't going out like that, no. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. Watch me go and bounce right back. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. Watch me go and bounce right back.
Right here, Rob is signaling for me to get on the back of his wheel so he can give me a little tow as we start to chase Alexis and Michael down, who are in front of us. Now, I'm not sure if he's just being nice by waiting for me. It is his birthday today, and I did wish him a happy birthday after Julien and I had caught the 3 liters, so might be that, or we can see that Alexis and Michael are together in front of us, and he just might want some help. It takes a little bit longer for Julien to catch us, so he doesn't help until this last little bit here, but we do end up catching Michael and Alexis and all coming back together as we go into this next off-road section.
You keep leading then?
Yeah. I guess we're back.
Yeah.
Now, maybe this is a little bit of a tactical mistake, and I should have sprinted ahead because I do have kind of tires that are in between both Rob and Michael, and then Julien and Alexis. And me getting away with Alexis would be a much better chance of getting the top 2 versus trying to fight it out with Rob written on the last climb. But I do end up listening to Rob because on that last section I was hurting pretty bad, and I don't want to put myself in the box quite yet with such a long way to go. Right here, I actually do decide to follow one of Alexis' attacks. We just came out of that last single track section with a little bit of a gap to the rest of the riders, and just being second wheel following him, it's just an opportunity to get up the road, so why not take it? Especially with him and I being the 2 larger riders in the group, we could definitely use a head start on that final climb. However, this does not last long, and soon enough, Rob and Michael come flying by us with counterattack. Now, Alexis on it right away and closes the gap back down, and then he proceeds to attack again. So he is just on one today, really trying to get away from the group. However, the rest of us do a really good job rotating together, not playing any games, and we are able to close back in on him. We all come back together and kind of settle down into a pace as we head towards the next climb. Now, this climb I didn't actually know about. At less than a mile long, it really didn't stick out in the profile, which is why it wasn't on my radar. However, it is pretty steep and chunky, and Rob is going to the front here and just smashing it. So in total, this climb takes about 4 minutes at just under 400 watts, which is definitely significantly less than what we've done earlier in this race. But at this point, we are 3 hours and 43 minutes in, and I have a normalized power of 341 watts for this race. So yeah, these efforts are going to sting a lot more at this point. As we get over the top of this climb, I'm trying to settle back in, and now I really have to be very conscious of any extra effort here as we make our way to the last climb.
Alexis, here's our leader, about 93, 94 miles in. All right, Lexi, right on cue. Here come the 4 chasers. All right, here they are. You guys are looking good.
As you see here, Alexis did manage to get clear of us about 4 miles ago, and that's going to put him at about 10 miles solo leading into this final climb. I do notice that Julien is taking a little bit softer pulls than Michael and Rob, and maybe I should have followed suit with him there, as Alexis not really going to be much of a threat with spending so much time out on his own before that final climb. But I also don't want Rob and Michael to start attacking, because I'm kind of closer to my limit too, and I don't know if I could follow them. So I just continue to play nicely, and we all rotate together decently as we make our way to the final climb.
See just around the corner, there's Alexis. He's in first. This climb goes on for a long way, but this is the steepest part here at the beginning.
As much as I want to, and I'm fighting to stay with these guys here, I just don't have what it takes to sustain the pace. The first 3 minutes here are over 400 watts, and this is going to be over a 20-minute climb, so I gotta settle back down into my own pace. All I can do is hope that a couple of the guys up front will also blow up. There is 15 miles to go on the other side of this hill, so the fight is definitely not over. So for the total duration of this climb, it took me 22 minutes and I was able to put out 350 watts. That's just all I had at this point in the race. And that was good enough to get me over the top, just under a minute behind Julien, and then just under 2 minutes behind Michael and Rob. Rob's KOM here is actually from a couple days ago, but in the race, he came over the top with Michael. Now, I wasn't able to see any of this, so I'm gonna push this downhill as hard as I can in the hopes that someone might have some bad luck or blow up, as we have a long way to go to the finish. Very much to my surprise, at the bottom of the hill here, I am catching Rob Britton. Now it turns out he had a flat tire on the way down, so we lost a couple minutes, and that is why I'm catching him. But man, I'm stoked to be right here right now, because if we have the two of us, and I know how strong Rob is, we definitely have a chance at catching Julien and Michael up the road ahead. However, as BWR will do, it throws us for one last loop with an off-road section that I did not pre-ride. Now, unfortunately right here, I lose traction and I'm forced to get off my bike and run up this hill. I am definitely bleeding through my eyeballs at this point. However, I've already had a 4th place in a BWR at Utah last year, so I really want to get on that true podium of a top 3. So I'm putting my head down and fighting just as hard as I can, giving it everything I've got to try and close the gap to Rob so I can have a shot at that top 3.
Struggle to survive.
It's just who got it?
I missed the turn. Yeah. When we went
got it?
road, I was left. I had to turn around riding with you. Like I should have known, but.
Rob, I was chasing you that whole time. Just you got it. Nice work. Now I put everything I had into the chase to try and catch Rob, but I just wasn't able to close the gap. So you'll see here I finished 4th place, only 14 seconds down on Rob, 26 seconds down on Michael, and just under 1 minute down on the winner, Julien. So even though, like I said before, I've already been 4th in a BWR over at Cedar City last year, I have not been this close to a big win yet. This final effort from the bottom of the climb to the finish took 35 minutes at an average power of 289 and a normalized power of 317. And for total numbers on the race, I averaged 276 watts with a normalized power of 329 for 6 hours and 10 minutes. These are very big numbers for me, probably the best numbers that I put out all season. So all in all, I am super stoked with this race.
4th place in 6:11:17, Joe Tuttle. Where's Rob? That is your male podium 2024.
This is you guys' setup here? I got it all. You wanna tell us your story of how you got here?
Yeah, we rode from Calgary Airport.
Calgary Airport. And how far again is that?
It was like 1,200 miles, more or less.
1,200 miles.
Yeah, mostly camping outside.
Yeah. Oh, look at this guy. There's the winner of the race right there. Julien, how do I say your last name?
Gagné.
Gagné? So Julien Gagné.
It's yeah, it
means winning in French.
I told Julien, yeah, I have this tent. I tried it with my girlfriend. It's huge. And first night we put it up. It's like, oh shit. I thought it was bigger.
It's the tent we're talking about, right? That's the... Yeah. But anyways, awesome race today, Julien. Yeah, you absolutely crushed it.
Big shout out to you for helping me get it back to...
Oh yeah. I mean, had I rather made it to the front of the climb with the other guys and then just so you weren't there so you didn't have to win today, that would have been more ideal. But I mean, at least I had the winner of the race with me.
But because I thought about you.
All right, so it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. Start with that. Yep. How was your day out there?
It's going really good. Pretty much the plan until about like 17 kilometers or like 8 miles to go. And I drove my bike into a rock and punctured. Had to put a plug in, CO2 it, and then yeah, just tried to pin it to get back, but it was a minute gap that I had to close in 15K. Yep. So that's...
And then it was two of them working together, right?
Yeah.
Julien.
Yeah, and they were like, they were working pretty cohesively.
So you should have just let me catch on with you, and then we could have fought for it. So.
I thought about it, then I was like, well, I'm gonna ride as hard as I can. If he catches me, then it's like we can work together.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't catch me, then it's like at least I have third.
Yeah.
So
That's true. Well, anyways, awesome race today.
Yeah, man.
Happy
Thanks.
birthday again.
Thanks.
And yeah, thanks for answering some questions.
Yeah, of course.
Well, hello there. It is now November 7th. It's been over a month since the race happened, and I'm back here in Utah. If you have made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and enjoying another one of our race recaps. Thank you to everyone who has liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel over this past year. If you would like to do a little extra to support Kenner and I in our journey as we continue to progress up the ranks in gravel and film, create, and provide more awesome content for you guys to enjoy, I want to let you know that we've started a Patreon page. So you can head over to Gel Media at Patreon and directly contribute to our goals right there. In exchange for this, we are going to be doing early releases for both our race recaps and our raw files videos. So if you decide to join, you're going to be one of the first people to get to see all of those videos. Now going back to the race, Belgium Waffle Ride, British Columbia was one of the most epic races I've ever been a part of. If you are looking for an adventure for 2025, I highly recommend you look into this as an option for your calendar for next year. Now I was planning on racing Big Sugar, but unfortunately I had a calf tear on a mountain bike crash, so I had to cut my season short a little bit early, but the calf is healing up really well, and I'm already back on the bike training. That being said, looking ahead to 2025, the main goals are going to be the new BWR Quadruple Crown, which is going to include Utah, Arizona, and California, and then a new event this year that's going to be over in Montana. So that's number one priority on our list, and then number two is going to be more of those Lifetime Grand Prix events and seeing if we can maybe go after a wild card selection spot. They're putting up 3 spots and you can earn your way in through good results at Sea Otter Gravel and Unbound. So those are 2 big events that are on our list. And then we've got some other ones. We want to do nationals again, maybe Valley of Tears. If you have any races you want to see us at, please drop that in the comments below. Let us know. We're always open to ideas. But anyways, we're going to wrap this up. It's been a great season. It's been great to have you guys on board, and we are looking forward to next year. Can you say bye, Lenoir? Bye. Goodbye.